If your wife left you, the first thing you need to do is understand why. I'm sure you do know that no one will leave a wonderful husband for no reason. Try to break down your relationship in your head and review it to understand what the problem was. Probably, this decision was not spontaneous, because for many women, the most valuable thing in their life is the family. And most likely, resentment and irritation accumulated for years, and at some point, one last straw broke the camel's back. She realized that there is no hope for change, and everything will remain the same if she does not take action. Your wife probably told you about the problems in your relationship during numerous quarrels you had. She said that she was worried and that she needed something to change, but you did not react at all. And here it is, the expected outcome. Your wife puts you in front of the fact that she is leaving, and that is all. Or, if her negative feelings haven't peaked yet, she may take a break, ask you to let her be alone, and think if it's worth to stay together. This is when husbands usually make many mistakes. They start chasing their wives, begging to get back together, throw a bunch of presents at them, and take other desperate measures. In most cases, this doesn't help. Here's what you need to do to raise your chances of getting your wife back. Do not chase her under any circumstance. Don't call her 100 times a day, telling her how much you love her. Don't send her flowers all the time. Let the situation go. Give your wife some space and the time she's asking for. Let her get her feelings and emotions in order. You've already gone through begging her to come back and must understand that this doesn't get you anywhere. Why is it so important now to take a break and diffuse the situation a little? Every woman has certain expectations from a family relationship. For example, she wants her husband to give her flowers once every 3 months, just like that, without any reason. And she's happy when it happens the way she expects it. What happens when the circumstances change? Let's assume that her man begins to give her flowers every hour. It wouldn't be too long before the woman says, "Leave me alone with your annoying flowers. Let me sleep, work, eat in peace." That is, at this point, the woman will start to push her man away to get back to the point of her expectation. If the opposite happens and the man disappears somewhere, doesn't call or text, and the couple begins to see each other only once every couple of weeks, the woman will have a lot of questions, and she will try to bring him closer to her, to bring him back to the expectation point. The same thing is happening right now with your relationship. If you're trying really hard to get closer to her, she will push you away. It's a similar reaction as you saw in the example with the flowers. She says, "Leave me alone. Let me be in peace. I don't ever want to see you. We will never be together." Why does this happen? Because this is how the human psyche works. When someone tries to persuade us as hard as they can to sell something, so to say, we get stressed. We want to run away from such situations. For example, if 20 years ago, when you didn't know what an iPhone was, someone on the street ran up to you trying hard to sell one, the first reaction you may have would be to run away. However, after the market was prepared by a massive PR campaign, it became one of the most popular and attractive products in its niche. So, if you juxtapose that onto your relationship, know that if you try to persuade her or make her feel pity for you, beg her to come back, tell her that you miss her, none of it will work, because the psyche works the same here as it does with the flowers. You have to give the woman time to miss you, and she will want to bring you closer. While she's away, she'll have time to see that you have changed. You can create an attractive image of yourself for your woman to fall in love with you all over again. The image that she feels strongly attracted to, an image of a man she wants to be with. Right now, this is our plan. You need to start moving away from her and demonstrate positive changes. If you chase after her, it won't work. It's a bad strategy. It will hurt you, and your wife will distance herself even further. In any case, the image of a cheerful, happy, and positive man attracts much more than the image of a mean, negative, depressed man with dull eyes. Such a man as if says, "Please, come back to me. I feel so bad without you." But women rarely come back to such men. They only want to run away from them. I'd like to recommend a great website where I found a lot of information on how to get a wife back. Take a look. xback.how/W. In order for your wife to come back, you have to show that you have changed. Without it, her return is unlikely, and if she comes back, the situation will be unstable. You have two goals. 1. Stop the actions that don't work and lower your chances of getting her back and having a happy relationship with her. And 2. Start doing things that will raise her interest in you and will help you reignite her love for you. I've already listed some examples of what you need to stop doing to increase your chances of her return. But that's not all. She was probably dissatisfied with something for a long time. You can write down a list of the last 10 fights you had and the claims she made during them. Often, there's one that is dominant in this list. For example, a woman may have said she didn't feel appreciated or that you didn't spend enough time with her. But the problem is that even if you run to her knowing the main reason for your breakup and tell her that everything will be different now, she won't believe you. It's very likely that she has already heard something like that many times. It's time to start changing and correcting your habits. But you should start showing these changes, not to your wife, but to the people around you. First, the cost of the errors you made will be lower, and second, they may be more open to seeing your changes. I recommend you combine external changes with internal ones. For example, if one of the problems you've had lately was being too negative, you may want to start seeing a therapist. At the same time, if you lose weight or get a bit buffer and she can see it, it will be easier for her to believe in internal changes because you look differently on the outside. I also recommend using techniques of indirect influence to demonstrate to her your changes. This will help to bypass the emotional defenses that the woman has put up around her to protect herself from feeling negative emotions when being around you. The essence of these techniques is to influence her indirectly through special stories, social networks, and her surroundings. You can read about it in detail in the book Get Your Wife Back by Sergio Arias and Gary Ideal. The book provides many other useful methods of influence, as well as psychological techniques for working on yourself. One of the big problems in these situations is when you're too upset, it's hard to follow a plan, even if it's a great plan. So in the book, we talk about how you can improve your emotional state first. You can find the book by following the link below. If you still have questions, please write them in the comment section and I'll be happy to answer them as soon as possible. Like and subscribe to our channel, and you will support us in making new videos. Good luck in getting your beloved wife back.